Good morning, Morning Musings by Melinda. It's Friday. Oh, I'm so glad. Are you glad it's Friday? A long week, I want to talk to you about keeping the ball moving down the field because I often, make a football analogy for the game of life and how we play it. P.S. There's a wonderful old-time writer from the 1920s, actually, named Florence Scovel Shinn. That's Schinn, and she wrote a trilogy of books, The Game of Life and How to Play It, The Secret Door to Success, and Your Word is Your Wand. And they're some of the greatest books ever with Bible quotes and connections into how energy and the law of attraction works way back in the 1920s before it became popular to talk about it in today's world. So if you're looking for something simple and realistic, look at that old work, remembering that it's from the 1920s, so some of the things are out of date, but that's such great information. So because we keep talking about what's happening in 2020, it's very hard for us to keep seeing that ball moving down the field with fires and floods and hurricanes and tornadoes. And gosh, if I see one more Mark Kelly, Martha McSally ad, I'm just gonna my head's gonna explode. All the politics, it's just been so hard. And here on the West Coast, allergies from the smoke and the fire, which we do not have a right to complain about because people are losing their homes and there's devastation, but we can even feel the effects here with allergies and all kinds of things. So it's really hard to move that ball down the field, and I want to give you some hints about it. First of all, if we're using football as our analogy, I want you to think about if you're playing on the defensive line or whether you're playing on the offensive line. When you're in defense all the time and you're always blocking and you're never able to make movement because you're so defensive, then you're not playing on the right side of the game because that defensiveness can really get in the way of you ever moving your own ball down to the finish line. And actually, I would rather you weren't playing offense either. Maybe you need to be the quarterback for your own life, or better yet, the coach, or even better yet, the owner of the team. Think about the levels of how you project energy into your own life. Are you always playing defense? If you're playing offense, are you doing it in a nasty way? If you're the quarterback, are you calling the right plays for your life? If you are the coach, are you, organizing things in a way that makes sense for balance? And if you're the owner of the team, maybe you're making a little bit of abundance along the way, trying to figure out how the game is played. So what do you do when you are having such a hard time dealing with everything that's going on? Well, did you know one of the first things is that your body can help? Sometimes we really neglect our physical well-being when we feel low and when we feel de-energized, when we feel depressed. And I'm not talking about the depression that is clinical depression because that's a whole different story. And I was just having a discussion with a friend of mine about the difference between anxiety and depression and how we lump them together, and it's not necessarily the same at all, but both can be debilitating. But, having our physical well-being paid attention to really helps us to move into a place where we can move on around beyond survival, okay? So first things first, get clean, shower, wash your hair, make your bed, get a sense of achievement early in the day, feel well, get dressed, drink a lot of water, helps you keep moving forward. Make sure you're eating well, that your blood sugar is balanced. A lot of times people have blood sugar issues that they don't even know it and are dehydrated often and don't know it. Maybe distract yourself with some good music and take off the news. Make sure you tidy up. Do one corner at a time if you feel overwhelmed. Try to write down your thoughts and feelings in a practical manner. Ask someone to help you. Breathe fresh air. Get outside. If you're able, keep moving. Don't try to empty your mind of all thoughts. Mindfulness is about noticing your thoughts, letting them go, and returning to a point of focus. So imagine that thoughts are like leaves that are drifting along the water if you're meditating and so on. Help other people. That can be very therapeutic when you help other people. What can you do for somebody else if you're having trouble moving the ball across your own finish line? What are the ways that you can allow yourself to be comforted and nourished both emotionally and physically? How is your environment, your home situation restful? How do you make your own sense of control increase by taking care of yourself and your environment? And how do you make your mind calmer? So those are ways to make movement when you feel like you are in a state of overwhelmedness. So take a good look at where you are on the team and how you're getting the ball across the line. Now, in the game of football, everybody has their place in their service. But in the game of life, if you're always playing defense, then you probably aren't doing much to get the ball across the finish line. And if you're always playing offense, that's a great place to be. But wouldn't you rather be the team owner, coach, or quarterback? So anyway, think about that. And I hope that you have an absolutely lovely, lovely weekend, regardless of all of the malarkey, which were words that we had yesterday on Facebook, discombobulated, malarkey, things like that, old-fashioned words that I use all the time. So let's try to do less malarkey and more moving forward and get our ball over the finish line so we can get through COVID and like each other again. Have a great day.